If you live in Texas, you already know this feeling. It's 80 degrees at breakfast, there's a hailstorm by lunch, and by dinner, somebody's wearing a parka. Okay, it's not right now, of course. Obviously, it's summer in Texas and it feels like the face of the sun 24/7. But you know what I'm saying? Same day, multiple seasons. Everybody down here jokes that the weather can't make up its mind. I bring this up because I'm about to sound exactly like the Texas weather. This podcast started almost 3 years ago as Her Faith at Work. Earlier this year, it became Marketing Without Socials. And now, today, you are listening to something called The Better Brand. Third name in not quite 3 years. And if you are new here, it might look like I can't commit to anything. Stick with me, though, because that's not exactly what happened. What happened is closer to what happens every spring around here in Texas. The pressure changes, and eventually something has to break loose. This is that. When I started the show, I cared about one thing: faith and work living together in the same sentence out loud without a wall between them. That was true then. It's still true now. So that has not changed. But like a lot of multi-passionate business owners, I didn't just care about 10 different things. I did 10 different things. And for a long time, I loved almost all of it. Suffice it to say, the podcast kind of lived in a silo, just like so many of the other things that I did. And then somewhere over the course of the last couple years, I started feeling like I was falling out of love with pieces of what I was doing. The content creation that kind of started my business started feeling like a chore instead of a craft. The social media, every single day. It stopped feeling optional and started feeling mandatory, like some toll booth I had to go through and pay every day just to be allowed to run my own dang business. And underneath both of those, something quieter started building: resentment. I resented doing things that I didn't enjoy for sometimes what amounted to pennies, and that was if I paid myself at all that month. I resented handing over my Sunday evening to create something for an algorithm that would bury it by Tuesday. And honestly, I resented recommending tactics to clients that I no longer fully believed in myself, just because everybody, in air quotes, said that's what a thriving business was supposed to look like. Now, I don't know who everybody actually is, but what I do know is that I'd been taking orders from them for a long time, and I finally decided that it was time to stop. Then I asked myself something that should be a really simple question, but is actually in real life much harder to answer than it sounds. Am I still called to do those things? Or was I just doing them out of routine or for money? I put myself in timeout and I sat with the Lord on that one, which is what I probably should have been doing on a more regular basis. My practice is to go away by myself about once a year, but I feel like over the last couple of years, I've needed that kind of seclusion, solitude, if you will, with the Lord to really hear from Him without distractions on a more regular basis, and I just wasn't giving myself that. But what came out of that time and that conversation that we had is something that I'm just so passionate about, something that I'm truly excited to build. And it's the whole reason that this show has a new name. Now, I am a firm believer that we as human beings were created to keep growing, evolving, if you will. I know that can be kind of a weird word, evolution, but I believe that we do. And not once and then done, but continuously in seasons. And yes, sometimes it can feel the way that Texas cycles through 4 kinds of weather before dinner. But pressing into the Lord for direction isn't a one-time decision you make at the start of your business. It's something that you keep doing on purpose as the business grows and changes shape underneath you. The one thing that hasn't changed through Her Faith at Work and Marketing Without Socials, and now this, The Better Brand, is that I've always been passionate about helping people build a brand that's true to who they really are and one that can hold up long term, right? It's sustainable, not a version that was borrowed from whoever is loudest on Instagram this month. And all of that we want to build through a lens of faith and what the Lord has called us to do, right? So that one has not changed. But what I am doing is I'm taking my own advice and I'm paring down. And while building a better brand has so many facets to it, that is my lane. And I've got my pedal to the metal, and honestly, it feels so good. So good. You can build a real business, have clients and revenue and momentum, and still be carrying a brand that describes who you used to be instead of who you are now or who you're called to become. And that gap doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just kind of sits there, quietly making your business feel harder than it should until you finally name it. There was a book that was written a couple decades ago called Holy Discontent. I feel like that's kind of how the Lord works, right? He kind of just, it's like you put a burr under the saddle. There's something that you can't name exactly, but it just doesn't feel right. And we have to go to him and ask for clarification. It's that evolution problem, the next level problem, if you will. And if any part of my Texas weather rebrand story felt a little too familiar, there is a decent chance that you, my friend, are standing in the middle of that space right now. So I am a musician and I'm about to geek out just a little bit. I hope you'll follow me, and I think I can get you to see the tie-in, okay? So I want you to picture a sound wave. It has 3 things going on: pitch, volume, and timbre. Pitch is how high or low the note is. Volume is how loud it's playing. And timbre, which is the one that nobody really talks about outside a music theory class, that's why a violin and a trumpet, or Billie Eilish and Chris Stapleton, can either play or sing the exact same note at the exact same volume and still sound nothing alike. Pitch and volume can match perfectly. Timbre is what is actually completely unique to the source. And no amount of matching the other two is ever going to fake that, right? So here's the tie. Your positioning is the pitch. It can move. I've retuned mine, if you will, twice on this show alone. And it is likely that over the course of this show, it might happen again. Your reach is the volume. Some months it's quiet, some months it's loud, and all of that should be by design because good music has varied dynamics. That's what makes it interesting and what tells the story. But your timbre is the thing under both of those that doesn't change no matter what note you're playing or how loud you're playing it. It's why someone can hear 30 seconds of you and should be able to know that it's you, even if the topic, the platform, the product, or even the price point has moved since the last time they checked in. And all of it together is going to create your masterpiece. So, going forward, we are going to explore those things and everything that goes into them. We will call out the beautiful and the dissonant. We're going to learn how to make tweaks to improve things when your pitch is out of tune. We're going to notice where it gets muddy and hard to understand. And a lot of the topics that we're going to cover, it's going to seem like the same thing, but the timbre is going to be different. It's going to be a lot more focused on helping you build your own better brand as I go through the process of building mine. So if any of this leaves you wondering if maybe, just maybe, it's time to change your own tune. See what I did there? I built something that might help you. It's called the Brand Sound Quiz. It's free. It takes under 3 minutes, unless, of course, you get distracted. And it's going to show you what your brand actually sounds like right now versus what you probably want it to sound like. The link is going to be in the show notes, or you can just pop over to jantouchberry.com/quiz and take it there. And if the results catch you off guard, maybe surprise you a little bit, just hit reply on the email that it sends you and let's have a little conversation. So welcome to the brand new Better Brand podcast. That's all I've got for you today, and I'll see you next week.